Welcome cross country fans to the second video blog edition of the Crossfire on Cross Country. Here I am, Dave, along with Steve here on campus at Illinois Wesleyan University.
I'm Steve.
That's Steve, in case you didn't know.
Howdy.
So Steve, what were we up to this morning?
Well, this morning we went to the IHSA 2A Regional in Bloomington, Illinois at Maxwell Park, and we watched the Potter men and the Potter women race in the mud and cloudy weather. It was fun. Yes,
it certainly was. And although we would like to point out that contrary to our last video blog, we are not eating Dairy Queen this time.
That's correct. Dairy Queen in Morton is closed for the winter, and I'm depressed and I do not have any blizzards or cookie dough in front of me.
As am I.
So.
But we do have still some fun things to do for this video blog edition, including, thanks to Illinois Wesleyan's fine electronic equipment, we have a video projector that's going to show us our pictures from the day.
Last time, Nathan Young was really impressed at our ability to point at the bulletin board at Dairy Queen, but we're going to do one better, and we're going to look at pictures today.
All right, well, let's roll through the pictures, Steve, and we'll just show you how the day unfolded.
Yep, let's go ahead and hit play, and we'll just let those pictures go while we talk. So first up, we had the girls race. Girls race, I believe there were 6 or 7 teams, and the top 5 teams to score were going to advance to the sectional meet in East Peoria next week.
Yeah, well, hold on, Steve, a second. I'd just like to quick pause at this particular picture.
Okay.
Because if you look here, you see here's Hannah Bailey. Now Hannah's right here.
The one in the red.
The one in the red, yes. And if you notice over here, there's this big water puddle.
Ooh.
Now, here Hannah has an option. Hannah could either run through the puddle, which would be really fun, but that's not the course.
Okay.
And so she should really keep going this way.
That's what the white line is for.
That's what the white line is for, and she recognizes that. And you can kind of see the determination there. She recognizes that although it'd be fun to run through that puddle, she's going to keep going on the course. And, you know, that's just what we really want to see out of our runners.
Can I say that for a second?
Go ahead.
What if she were to do a maneuver where she went like this, splashed around, and then got back on the course? How would that affect her time and her race performance?
Well, it definitely probably wouldn't help her time, although it would certainly be a lot of fun.
It would be fun.
And it could even distract these other girls here and cause them to go play in the puddle too, and therefore that would actually help our team scores. So maybe, if we were to run this race again, maybe we should splash in the puddle.
That's the thing to think about next week, if it's muddy and we have puddles.
Okay, well, let's get on to the rest of our pictures. We just wanted to point out that exceptional Potter performance.
Yes. So, in the women's race, we had Ashley Pribble finished in 3rd place overall as first Potter with a sub-20-minute time again, 19:49. Grace Jankowski was the second Potter lady in 20:57. Hannah Bailey, who did not run through the puddle, was the 3rd Potter in 19th overall, and her time was 21:20. Nicole Lockwood was our 4th lady in 21:54, followed by Caitlin Pribble and Ashley Kuhn in 23:20 and 23:33, I believe. So we had some good times. I think the course is running kind of slow with all the mud.
Oh, look, Steve,
whatnot.
it's a Cebu.
What?
It's a Cebu.
That's Ashley Kuhn.
Oh, no, the Cebu is before Ashley Kuhn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you missed it.
I'm not sure I understand you. And this is, I believe, near...
The 2 mile.
Yeah, this is the 2 mile, so we're getting close to the end of the girls' race there. Yeah. Should we move on to guys' race, Dave?
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, yeah, well, the girls' pictures will keep cycling. We'll get to the guys' pictures. Oh,
Nathan Young.
Yeah, Nathan Young was here today. It was really fun. The 3rd creator. So he did appear on the video blog, even though
he tried to avoid it.
He tried to avoid the video blog,
we
were not going to let him.
Yeah.
So we were without, we still weren't at full strength on the guys' side, still recovering from our swine flu illnesses or whatnot. Dan was sitting out again today. We know that, here's our men, speaking of which. Nick was running, still his calf is still bothering him just a little bit.
It's his first race back.
First race back, so...
we expect him... Oh, look at them.
Yeah, look, they're there too.
Yeah.
So, and we were expecting really good things, but we also weren't expecting a full 100% performance as we were expected earlier season. But hopefully, remember, this isn't the big meet, Steve. The big meet is going on next week. And there will be a meet next week because both guys and girls qualified out of this regional. But
it was good to see how things shaped up. Going in, we didn't know how they would fare against Muhammad Seymour, who's also a top 25 ranked team. especially running a little bit weak. But the men fared well against them today, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought they did really good. Here's Joe mixing up with the leaders from U-High and the guy from Bloomington, and he did a really good job. Joe had the fifth place finish, of 16:01, which is good enough to receive a medal on the day. Dale was 10th place with a time of 16:27. Austin ran 16:31, finished third for us. And then 16th and 17th place was Nick, followed right by Nathan. Nick was in 16:43 and Nathan in 16:49. Andrew was our 6th potter at 17:13.
Nick Stefan at, looks like either 17:38 or 17:43. The paper's kind of hard to read across the lines, it's all crooked. But the Potter men finished second overall. Once again, the top 5 teams qualified, so they made it pretty comfortably. And I think we forgot to say this, but the women finished 4th, so they did qualify as well.
Yes. And here you can see now we're into post-race pictures. You can see how these are kind of shaped out, and you can tell Dale is really happy with his race. East Peoria sectional cross-country preview.
All right.
Right now here we just have a breakdown of what's going to happen at sectionals next week. The top 5 teams who score the lowest points will be advancing to the state meet at Detweiler. And as I also put here, the 5 fastest people that are not on those 5 teams will also be advancing to the state meet. Steve, you want to take us through the top teams or the top individual runners in the area that we should be looking for?
Yeah, I think that top individuals are definitely, I think CJ Elward's probably the favorite, at least of the teams that we've seen. After that, probably the 2 top finishers from today's regional would be up there, Ryan Rutherford and James Clay from Normal U-High. I think Stephen Rao and Johnny Crane from Metamora and Dunlap are probably likely going to be up there near the front as well. After that, there's a lot of guys who will very likely be in that top 10 to 15 to 20. You got Eads from East Peoria, Joe Zeller from Morton, Van Fossen probably from Metamora, Raquel from Notre Dame. There's a lot of guys who could be right in there between about 5th place and 20th or so. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
That's true. Now here, let's take a look at some of the top teams. Of course, Normal U-High, who took the victory today at the regional, as well as area powerhouse Notre Dame. They're up there. They're probably going to be sure locks to be going to state meet. Wouldn't you say, Steve? I
would say so. Those 2 are pretty solidly up there. U-High is probably one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the state. So Notre Dame might be a top 5 team as well. Yeah, and after those 2, though, things get really close, and it's going to be a pretty big dogfight to see who gets 3, 4, and 5 spots. Teams we've thrown on the board here: Metamora. They're on there twice. Metamora on there twice. How about that? We also Dunlap, East Peoria, Morton, and Galesburg. All these teams definitely have a shot at getting to state, and it's going to be really close. It's going to be whichever 7 people have good days next Saturday, pretty much, I think, Steve. Yeah, I think so. I think that all those teams have probably at some point beaten each other and all been beaten by each other. I think Morton has beat each one of those teams once and lost to them once. And it's just going to come down to having the best race you can on that day. And I think the 5th place team and the 8th place team are probably not going to be separated by very many points. That's true. And however, even though we said there's these teams, there's also a good number of other teams that also have a good chance. Oh look, Steve, there's another state move. Why is that thing on there? Why don't we have a marker? We should have a marker next time. Here's some bubble teams that probably, I think, in Peoria next week or in 2 weeks also. We have teams like Dixon, who won state last year. Muhammad Seymour, who we saw at the regional today. Also Geneseo, Peoria Richwoods, and Yorkville also shouldn't be counted out of any state discussions. Dixon, I think they're a team that's been improving all season, and obviously they ran well at the end last year. Geneseo we haven't seen lately, but they had a very tight pack, and if that tight pack is peaking well, they could end up being in the mix in that top 8. If any of those teams from the top 8 falter, some of these teams might pick them up and beat them as well, even if they don't qualify. Yes, and the great thing about cross country is that you can rank teams all you want, but once the gun goes off, you never know what's going to happen. So we're pretty excited about next Saturday at East Peoria. If you scroll down on this blog, you will find a link to a promotional video I put together to hopefully inspire and motivate runners from Morton to hopefully see them at Peoria in 2 weeks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video blog, and hopefully we'll see you next week at East Peoria for the East Peoria IHSA Cross Country Sectional. This is us signing out, and yes, we are in fact insane.